Hello and welcome to a new series of Soccer Nostalgia. Over the next few weeks we hope to stir memories for you of some great players and matches of the past. Two of football's biggest names in the last 20 years, Mick Channon and Alan Ball, have many a tale to tell about those characters. And for openers we'll be looking at these fearsome centre-forwards.
Hegan. Good running by Hegan. Oh, and a chance for Dugan!
And on out to Highway. Toshak's head again.
Going against Alveston, looking for the cross. It's a good one with goal. Beautiful. 1-0.
Well, you always call them the big hit men because you could either hit them, balls up to them so they could hold it up and they were ever so difficult to get round and then you could build off them again. Or if any crosses that were coming in, or any free kicks or any movement you could get down the outside of people and get balls in, you're always going to get something off them. If they didn't hit at goal, you know, they could head things down, and a lot of people used to live off them.
And did you enjoy, as a player, playing with a side who had a big hitman?
I played in, when I first started with Ray Charnley, he was about 6'2" at Blackpool, and I always got goals off him in and around the box. And I think possibly one of the best I played with in my Everton days was Joe Royle.
1-0 to Everton. Morrissey now, looking for Royle's head, and he's got it! And he's got it a second time! First, good work to Jackson, to Husband. Royle! What a fine goal by Joe Royle!
Every team had one. You know, I mean, I remember starting, we had Ron Davis, and I think he was probably the best player I've ever seen in the air, you know. But every club had him, you know. Liverpool had Toshak, you know, I mean, every team in the country had him. You say it's gone out of the game. I mean, there's a lot of clubs like Sheffield United and Watford and teams like that. I mean, they've got all big men now, haven't they? Mm. And Wimbledon, they have all big men up front. So, I mean, in them days, they used to have one, like Alan said, one big fella really to get out of trouble. If you're ever in trouble, you'd knock it up to the big fella. With a bit of luck, he might be able to hold on to it. If not, he'd be able to knock it on. And you'd be able to move up the pitch. You'd be able to sort of relieve a bit of pressure.
My idol was Nat Lofthouse.
Yes.
You know, there was Tommy Lawton, wasn't there? Dixie
That's
Dean.
right, yeah, right.
All the way through our history of English football.
Big fellas have always made a living, haven't they? They've always made a living.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Haitley, I mean, he was sold for hundreds of thousands, wasn't he? You know, going back in the sort of late 60s, early 70s.
Handball, giving the kick
Dugan was one of the most colourful centre-forwards in the last 25 years. It's 1971. Dugan and the Wolves are up against the Southampton side containing one Mick Channon.
Dugan. Parkin for Wagstaff to chase. Fry is with Wagstaff, as he has been from the kickoff. Hegan. Good running by Hegan. Oh, and a chance for Dugan! Derek Dugan! But the construction of that goal, without any doubt at all. The beauty of the pass from Danny Hegan. Wagstaff, Hegan and Dugan, the killer stroke on the end of it. Joe Kirkup for Channon. Far side is Payne. This side, Kirkup. Gabriel. Channon. Terry Payne on the right side. Payne, good little chip ball, and that's Kirkup. Joe Kirkup. What a neat little goal, and what a superb run. It's 1-1 now. Joe Kirkup scoring his first goal of the season, and he hasn't had too many in his whole career. Indirect free kick. No defensive wall. Wagstaff to Wackwa. Oh, and what a goal! No! It's been ruled out. It's been ruled out. It was an indirect free kick, and referee Stiles has his hand still in the air. Must be honest, I was caught too. Terry Payne taking lots of time. Gabriel for Channon. Terry Payne. Oh, what a good return ball for Channon. Whoops. Indirect free kick. And the referee being mobbed then by Southampton players, demanding the penalty kick. But indirect inside the box, it is. So that none of us, including me, get caught out again. It being an indirect free kick, the ball must strike somebody before it goes into the net. I don't think Terry Payne will make the same mistake that Wagstaff did. And that's Channon. That wasn't a bad goal at all, at all, at all. That's the way to do it while they're still hanging about. And Park's really looking desolate on his line then. 5 minutes into the second half, and it's 2-1 to Southampton. And again, Wolves come storming in again. John McCall. Dugan must be in with a chance. He's there. Derek Dugan. Dugan makes it 2-2, and there is a very disconsolate goalkeeper and a very happy Derek Dugan. Look at the smile on his face. 2-2 the scoreline. John McCall was the man who slammed the ball forward. McGrath failed in the tackle on Dugan, and he saw the opening on the far post, scores his second goal of the game. Now we're wondering, can he get another hat-trick? This seemed surely to be the long one. Dugan was in the sandwich between McGrath and Kirkup. Wagstaff. Well done. Dugan just... and he's pointing to the penalty. McGrath, I think it was, who got the hand to it. Referee Stiles right in the middle there. From this angle, it was difficult to see. Dugan went in on that ball. Referee Stiles has pointed to the spot. Dugan is already over the ball. Dugan will be looking now for a hat-trick. No, Dugan's put the ball away. The penalty kick man will be Parkin. A moment of truth then for goalkeeper Martin. 10 minutes to go to the end of the game. Parkin with the kick. And no, it's got to be taken again. Referee Stiles was blowing his whistle as Parkin went up. What a let-off. Referee Stiles calling people over to him. Referee Stiles had blown his whistle before Parkin took the kick, indicating that some infringement was on and that he didn't intend for the kick to be taken at that moment. So Parkin, who hits the post, gets himself another crack at it. And that's a very nervous fullback out there at this moment. Here he goes. That one he scores. It's 3-2 then. Dugan then for Shaw. Dugan has Hegan to play with out there. If Wolves get another one now, it will be the killer punch. Hegan. There it is, Steve Daly. Steve Daly. And there's the picture of a happy fella. 4-2 to Wolves now.
So how did you rate Derek Dugan then, Alan?
I thought he was at his most dangerous when he was running with the ball. He had a great left foot and he ever so comfortable running at people, and he caused people problems and he used to get across people. I liked him because he was, as a kid growing up, he was one of the first clowns I saw in football.
Character.
He was.
All of a sudden, I think he took it upon himself. He started to get goals, and all of a sudden he just changed, didn't he?
See, the great thing with a lot of these like characters as such, I mean, they become characters because they get so much stick from the crowd. Because very often or not, if you are up against it and you're getting knocked big high balls up the pitch, sometimes you can't. You know, and you're under pressure, you can't relieve the team, you know? So that ball keeps coming back, they say, well, Dugan's not doing anything, or Channon, or they're not doing anything today. So they've got a great knack, these big lads, of being able to laugh at themselves in some ways, you know, and I think it helps them get through their career.
Alan was making the point about Derek Dugan playing the clown. I seem to remember he had a Mohican haircut, didn't he, for one period?
And then he had it all
Painted,
shaved off,
didn't he? That's right.
and he didn't slap a transfer request in on cup final day. I mean, he did things like that. That's what made him the person the person he was, and that's what made him, you know, all centre forwards are daft anyway.
Yeah.
Same as goalies. If you ever want a good night, I promise you, grab a centre forward or a goalie. You'll have a good time.
Or Alan Ball.
Now to a giant of a man who helped set the Liverpool bandwagon rolling, John Toshak.
A lot of misdirected headers from both sides, and here's Keegan as Webb misses his kick, gives it to Toshak, and Toshak puts it in. A mistake by Webb, and a most unselfish pass by Keegan. Keegan lucky to get that rebound off Webb. Toshak. Keegan! Well, that repays the compliment. It starts here with a little exchange of headers. Keegan lucky to get it, but he then gives a good ball out to Toshak, and Toshak shows that he knows how to play across, and Keegan, of course, knows all about putting them away. Smith, Lindsay. Smith taking it away from him and getting it out to Lindsay, and on out to Highway. Toshak's head again. They're really beginning to play with them now. No doubt about that clearance from Lawler. No handball. Referee signalling that it was high up on the shoulder. And that was a good effort there, and it's gone in eventually from Baldwin.
So 3-1 to
Turned
Liverpool.
across goal by
But Toshak
Garner.
doesn't
Garland
qualify
couldn't
as an
make
all-time
contact,
great
and
in
Baldwin
Alan
gets
Ball's
one
book.
back for Chelsea.
Well, I think he was just a good striker in a very, very good team. Most of the Liverpool strikers get tagged great because of, I think, the all-round strength of the team. And I think Tosh comes into that category because they used to get lots and lots of goals scored, lots and lots of pressure.
And Thompson.
And they used to get the balls in the box
yes.
for them. Yeah,
You
the
know?
two wingers. And good passes from midfield as well. I would just call him a very good player.
I found Toshak was a very calculated player. You know, in a team that had tremendous control of the game, and he was always going to, week in, week out, he was going to get good service. You know, whereas at Southampton in them days, you know, they called us the alehouse team. You know, some weeks if we got on top of a side, you know, Ron Davis would score a hatful, and then other weeks when we were up against the cut, we weren't good enough to be able to relieve the pressure to be able to play the football which we were good at. You know what I mean? But Liverpool, as we've said many a time, they had so much control throughout their team. It was very, very difficult to sort of...
You see, he knew he was going to get... He knew with the amount of pressure that Liverpool were going to put on teams, he was going to, with his size and height, he only had to get in that box, and he knew that he could make or score with the ratio of balls and pressure that's going to come in that box. It still happens now.
So, Mick, are you saying then that virtually anyone else could have done just as good a job?
I think there's several forward players, but he was very calculated, he was very unselfish. You know, I thought that, you know, for a big lad, most goal scorers tend to be a bit greedy, don't they, you know? But he wasn't, and he fitted into their method. And the control ball that they got, delivered into the penalty area, and he was good. I mean, if you get a ball, you know, that you're going on to, that you got that's well flighted and knocked in with a bit of control, you're going to get a fair percentage of headers at goal. If not, you're going to knock them down, and you had someone like Keegan sniffing around, wallop.
Well, we switched to the 80s and some great action involving Peter With right after this break.
Suppose we took an ordinary bloke with spots, and we washed one side of his face daily with ordinary soap and water, and the other side with Biactol, which helps prevent a spotty face by unclogging pores and killing bacteria. Spot the difference. Biactol, laughs in the face of spots, and treads on the toes of pimples.
Awfully clever, those Greek philosophers.
Well, they spoke Greek, didn't they?
Like natives. There was that Archimedes bloke who jumped in the bath and shouted Eureka.
Water too hot, I expect.
No, you see, he discovered you could tell how light this whisper was just by dropping it in the bath.
It would melt, wouldn't it?
No, it's theoretical. You see, he lived in 247 BC.
BC?
Before Cadbury's.
Oh, what a shame.
He was very philosophical about it.
Whisper. Enlightenment from Cadbury.
I have a secret, but I'm a little shy, and I can't just tell anyone, so you'll only hear it if you're telepathic. Thank you for listening.
Well, let's move straight on with some more great action featuring two of the big-name centre-forwards of the past, Peter Withe and Joe Jordan. It's 1981, and Aston Villa are heading for the league title.
Cowans has called for it. And Swain starts to break on the right. Going against Alveston, looking for the cross. It's a good one. Withe! Goal! Beautiful! 1-0. Well, Peter Withe really made that look easy, and that was not. Kenny Swain, this break on the outside, races past Alveston, a perfectly flighted ball. And look at the way that Peter Withe picked his spot just wide of Bailey's stretching right hand. Lovely goal, Peter Withe. Morley attacking Nicol. Corner given. Morley was expecting a free kick. At least he got something out of it. And Cowans is lurking over in that area as well. Chips it straight in. Withe. Oh, what a goal! How did he manage to turn 180 degrees and pop that one in? Peter Withe is second of the game. 2-0 Aston Villa. And it's all down to the big fella. They didn't get the ball clear, but look at the turn he gets there. Beautiful goal from Peter Withe. 2-0 Aston Villa. Manchester United 6 consecutive away defeats. Going to be lucky if they get anything out of this game now. Aston Villa very much in the boss seat. That's Alveston. Fouled. Free kick. And McElroy will take the corner. The free kick. Just as good as a corner. It's a corner now. That came off McNaught. And McElroy with the corner. Macari a touch. Will come to Koppel. Good cross, far post, and there's McElroy. And there's the goal from Joe Jordan. It's 2-1. And the United fans have absolutely risen up out of their seats for that one. They really got a close-up view of it. So that travel down was worthwhile. Koppel then, a lovely bit of football. Knocks it far post. And we look for McElroy to get the touch on the far post. And then Jordan, his marker not near him. A touch from Rimmer and a gift for Jordan. Back to Koppel. On to Wilkins. And now Koppel again. Getting to the line, looking for the cross. It's a good one, Jordan! Oh, fine goal, Joe Jordan. Equaliser. As good a goal as Joe Jordan has scored ever, I would suspect. And once again, that man, Steve Koppel, set it up. England international gets to the line, gets in behind Aston Villa. Here he comes now. little jink to the line. Look at the power of Joe Jordan as he came in on this one. Bang! 2-2. And Villa come again through Mortimer. This one in for Shaw. Oh, and that just hung in the air. 3-2. Gary Shaw puts Villa in front. Touchdown to Koppel. And again, Koppel trying to get there. And he's pointed to the penalty spot, has referee Reeves. And United have the chance to draw level. McIlroy. 3-3 it is.
2 goals then for Peter Withe in that match. And Channon puts him in the same mould as John Toshak.
He was a good player to play with. You know, he's probably more appreciated by his teammates than he ever was the general public or the people or the supporters or a lot of players as well. But the players that actually played with him, he would always bring them into the game. You know, if you were in trouble, knock it up to Withy, he'll buy you 30 seconds, give it to you with a bit of control, and you can go and play. And he was that type of player. And obviously, again, once you got enough control, once you got good balls knocked into the box, he was a very good goal scorer as well.
He had a few clubs, didn't he? Because I think he was at Wolves as well and moved around a lot. Was he difficult to deal with, do you think, Alan? Was he a hard man to deal with?
I just don't think people could make their mind up about him, how good he really was. And I think the best football he played, he did well at Villa, but I think when he went to Notts Forest, and Cloughie, we played an awful lot, we were a good team at Southampton at that time, and Cloughie played an awful lot of balls into him to build things up off. And he was strong and he held it up, and as Mick said, he got the ball back to Archie again, who then got it out to Robertson, and Robertson do his little jink. By that time, because he wasn't the quickest he did his little jink, crossed that ball, and then you had problems.
Joe Jordan also shone for Scotland and Leeds.
He's there! Jordan scores! Liver cross now. And a shot is on, surely for Jordan. And he scored! Joe Jordan's made it 1-1.
Grealish laid back to Hartford through to Ria. Good ball. Ria takes an early chance for Jordan. Goal! Jordan scores, Scotland 1 up.
Roberts again in towards Jordan. Joe Jordan! 20 minutes gone.
You only have to look at Joe's face to sort Joe out, don't you? He's got a broken nose, he's got cuts here, he's no teeth in. I mean, I loved him for... I'd love to have played with him. I never played with him because he was just all heart, Joe.
Rambo.
And he'd hurt people, and he would make things happen just through sheer strength. You know, I'm going to head that ball. I'm not bothered you're going to get hurt. If you want to... He's one of these men that used to get hurt scoring goals. Yeah. And I love people like that. He never got hurt scoring goals. Only once, right at the end of his career, and I never thought... He said, I can't believe this. He said, I got away with it all my career.
His enthusiasm was the biggest part of his game, I thought. His heart and his enthusiasm for it. I mean, he didn't have a lot of... I mean, he was quick. He could run. Once he was turned around, he was very quick. Yeah. And he was strong, you know. But he had no control. He used to bobble off his shins, and he'd run over 3 or 4 bodies, wouldn't he? And he'd run through 6 people and then blatter it. I mean, you didn't know where it was going. You know, he was that type of player. And yet he used to make things happen, didn't he?
Well, he was a crowd pleaser because he was giving everything he got. You'd always see a bit of blood, wouldn't you, when Joe was about, either it was a defender or him. But people like that, and he became a person because he gave everything he possibly got and made things happen through that type of play.
And towards the end of his career, had a spell with Southampton, which really probably didn't sort of work out for him, did it?
No, I think he'd taken... You see, like a boxer, if you take so many knocks over the years, it takes its toll on you. And I think by the time he came here, he was getting ready for the peaceful life.
You can't keep hurting, can you? No. You can't keep coming back, you know, when you've been hurt. And,
I think he was just ready for a bit of peaceful life when he came to Southampton.
Nevertheless, a marvellous career for Joe Jordan, and at least he left one memorable Southampton goal in the archives.
That's a good cross and a good header. A brilliant header there by Jordan, and Southampton go into the lead.
And that's it for our first trip down soccer's memory lane. Join Mick, Alan and myself next time.
And again, Wolves come storming in again. John McCall. Dugan must be in with a chance. He's there. Now Koppel again. Getting to the line, looking for the cross. It's a good one, Jordan! Oh, fine goal, Joe Jordan!
And on out to the highway. Toshak's head again!